As the sun began to set over the tranquil forest, a man named David stumbled upon a heart-wrenching sight. A bear, tears streaming down its furry face, stood before him, pleading for help. David's heart skipped a beat as he tried to comprehend the reason behind the bear's sorrowful cries. But before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. It wasn't unusual for David to come across a bear in the wild. He had hiked through enough forests to know they were almost unavoidable, at least on the trails he hiked. But there was something about this bear that stood out to him instantly. It didn't show anger or aggression, but it didn't run away either. It even almost looked like the bear was crying. David's first instinct was to make himself bigger and yell loudly in the hope of scaring away the bear, but he quickly realized that wasn't working at all. Slowly, the bear even began to walk his way. David, unsure of what to do, froze. He knew running away was a bad idea, so he just waited for the bear's next move. The bear moved carefully and calculated, not like it wanted to do David any harm. Heart raced as the bear slowly stepped backward and stood up on his back feet. The bear growled, but not loud enough to scare David away. It was a low, quiet growl, as if the bear wanted to get David's attention. David knew there was something about this bear that didn't sit right. David was now 100% sure the bear wanted him to follow it. So David obeyed. He began to walk toward the bear, and as soon as the bear noticed David was coming its way, it began to walk as well. As they hiked down the trail, David's mind raced with thoughts. What if the bear was tricking him, and they were actually on their way to David's death? David followed as the bear led the way deeper into the forest, stepping into a world far from the trails he knew, guided by an unlikely companion. Their journey was marked by the raw, untamed nature of the forest. Fallen trees blocked their path, and thick vines hung like curtains. David saw footprints of various animals and marks on trees that told stories of the forest's inhabitants. It was a world far removed from the manicured trails and guideposts he was used to, a world where nature reigned supreme. David realized he was entirely at the mercy of the bear's guidance. Each step was a leap of faith, trusting in the instincts of a wild animal. Echoes of the past as dawn broke. David stumbled upon a faded and torn piece of paper, caught in the underbrush. It was a fragment of a circus poster, vibrant colors dulled by time and elements, featuring the image of a dancing bear. The incongruity of finding such an item in the midst of the wilderness sent a chill down his spine. It was a stark reminder of humanity's reach, a whisper of a forgotten past in the heart of the forest. Continuing their journey, David noticed unusual footprints in the soft earth, distinct from the typical tracks of forest animals. Every new discovery seemed to deepen the mystery surrounding their journey. David found himself piecing together clues, trying to form a coherent picture from these disparate elements. The torn circus poster, the strange footprints, the abandoned items, all these suggested a story hidden within the depths of the forest. David emerged from the dense forest into a clearing that took his breath away. It was as if he had stepped into a forgotten memory, a relic of joy now surrendered to the wilderness. As he moved closer, David's eyes were drawn to a series of cages. Inside, he saw animals, some pacing restlessly, others lying still, resigned. Their eyes told stories of neglect and longing. David felt a deep sense of melancholy as he walked. As David observed the bear's behavior, it became evident that the bear had a history with this place. It moved among the cages with a familiarity that spoke of a past life spent here. Moved by the suffering he witnessed, David knew he couldn't just walk away. He had to take action. He began to think of ways to help these animals, to bring them out of this place of despair. David checked his phone for any signal, hoping to contact animal rescue services or anyone who could help. He paced around the clearing, holding the phone high, desperate for just enough signal to make the call. Finally, a faint connection was established, and David quickly conveyed the urgency of the situation, his voice a mix of desperation and determination. David's voice was steady but urgent as he described the location and the dire circumstances of the abandoned circus and its captive animals. As David ended the call, the phone signal flickered and died, leaving him in silence once again. He stared at the screen, hoping against hope that his message had been clear enough, that help would come. Throughout the night, the bear remained close to David, a silent, watchful presence. As the first light of dawn broke through the trees, David heard the distant sound of vehicles approaching. His heart leaped with hope. Soon, a convoy of rescue vehicles emerged, led by wildlife conservationists and law enforcement. Relief washed over David as he greeted the team. They quickly assessed the situation, their expressions a mix of shock and determination. As the rescue operation commenced, the team unearthed the dark past of the abandoned circus. Old records found on site revealed its illegal operations, including the poaching and illicit trade of exotic animals. The bear, David explained, had led him here, uncovering a secret that had long been hidden in the depths of the forest. The sordid history of the circus, now exposed, painted a grim picture of exploitation and cruelty that had gone unnoticed for years. David actively participated in the rescue operation, helping to calm the animals as they were being freed. He assisted the team in unlocking cages and providing immediate care. Each animal, from the bear to the smallest monkey, was carefully examined and treated. David's heart swelled with a mix of sadness and relief as each animal was liberated, their first steps of freedom a poignant moment of triumph over their tragic pasts. The discovery of the abandoned circus and the subsequent rescue operation quickly garnered media attention. Journalists and news crews arrived, documenting the dramatic unfolding of events. Interviews with David and the rescue team highlighted the plight of the animals and the illegal activities of the circus. The story spread rapidly, shining a spotlight on wildlife rights and the dark underbelly of animal exploitation. It became a talking point, stirring public emotion and debate on the issue. In the wake of the rescue, investigations into the circus's operations sparked a broader conversation about animal welfare and conservation. The bear, once a performer in this tragic show, became a symbol of resilience and hope. Following the rescue, David found a new purpose in becoming an advocate for animal rights. He spoke at public forums, participated in wildlife conservation events, and collaborated with animal welfare organizations. His experience with the bear and the abandoned circus had transformed him into a passionate voice for those who could not speak for themselves. His story inspired others to take action, spreading a message of empathy and responsibility towards all living creatures. David continued to visit the forest, the place where his life had taken an unexpected turn. These visits were a reminder of his commitment to protecting wildlife and preserving their habitats. He often walked the trails hoping to catch a glimpse of the bear, now a free resident of the forest. Each visit reinforced his resolve to be a guardian for nature, ensuring that the beauty and sanctity of the wild were respected and preserved.